Okay, welcome. I got a really interesting video for you today. Today we're going to look at, well, a bit of everything. I've got one or two comments that have been made on my YouTube channel. We're going to have a chat about. I'm going to show you a little bit of a charity shop haul I've picked up, and I'm going to share with you some house clearance pieces I'm still working through, and some listings I've done on the internet, on the website. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Walter O'Neill and I run Antiques Arena. And today we're going to, well, as I say, we're just going to have a look at a general vlog and a chat, and hopefully you'll enjoy, and I'll try and keep it a bit interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off a little bit of a haul, and then we'll move into a chat and finish off with a bit of a haul and a chat again, okay? So let's carry on. The house clearance. I'm still working through the house clearance products that I had in October, November. And today, these are a couple I have listed. Now look at the finish on that. It didn't look like that. Brown boot polish and good waxing and a good polish, and look at that color come up beautiful. Now this is turn of the century or early 20th century, and I believe it's a medicine cabinet because I've done some research on these, and there's some with compartments down the sides, and they got drawers and so forth. It's got a name on the inside there of Allen Hamburys Limited of London. So it's an early 20th century case with drawers is how I've listed it. Good London maker, in good condition, with obviously wear, exactly how you'd expect. You know, a little bit of bumping and things, but overall, look at that. Wouldn't be a bad little overnight bag or toiletry bag for somebody, you know, if you wanted to use it for that now. Anyway, that came in from house clearance, so I can't give you a price on what I paid for it, but it's a nice little thing. As I say, I'm still working through some of the beautiful stuff I had in the house clearance from Tree Lewis towards the last quarter of last year. This was a little bit of a mystery for me. I don't do a lot of wood items, to be totally honest with you, as you know. I tend to stick to porcelains, metalware, things like that. Come in the house clearance. It's quite nice. It's got nicely carved, nicely inlaid. You got a little bit of inlay there. It's not a bad quality thing, I'll be honest with you. As cutlery trays go, it's a really nice example. And I was unsure of the date. I thought it might have been early 20th century. And I put it up on Talking Antiques. And I don't get many responses on Talking Antiques. I don't know whether I've offended some people on there or whether they just don't like the fact I make videos, and this, well, if you make videos, you should know what you're doing, so they don't help. So I don't get a lot of help on there anymore. But one or two people did come across and give a couple of opinions, and a couple of people thought it was sort of 50s, 60s, or that age. But somebody did comment and say it could be newer, it could be older, it depends, it could have had a heavy life. In all honesty, I think it's in lovely condition. I don't think it's had a hard life. Doesn't look that poor condition for me, but either way, it's a nice thing, nice cutlery tray, and I just listed it as 20th century. I haven't bothered date it because I can't accurately date it or with any certainty for myself. So, yeah, it's strange with the Talking Antiques. I also listed a full collection, or I think it's a full collection of these. Now, they're books from the late 70s and early 80s, and they're all portraying into the Old West. And they got this, I don't think it's leather, I think it's a simulated leather with this sort of tooling effect to it. But look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous looking book? Every book has got a different image, and they're all different titles. But these books, literally, I don't think they have ever been read. Look how clean, pristine they are. I don't think they've ever been read. Now, they got shelf wares in, the names have worn off where the sun's been on them, things like that. And some of them have got some bumping and scuffing on the covers where they've just been moved around. But as for the actual books, generally, they're still stiff as if they haven't even been read. And I would imagine if you're into the Old West, that's a cracking set. Now, I had 26 of these. I bought these in when I had the shop. When I closed the shop, they went into storage. Well, I've started slowly bringing some stuff out of the storage. So 26 books you know, the way I saw it, they got to be worth somewhere between £5 and £10 a book, haven't they? They're absolutely gorgeous. Shelf fillers, if you're interested, you know, they're a good read. But they got to be worth somewhere between £5 and £10 a book. Another one that came from the shop was this. I've had it a while. I've started letting go of some of my Chinese porcelain that I purchased when I was learning. I'm still learning, but the things I know now, I've started letting go of. This is a nice piece. It's 20th century. It's sort of in the Kangxi style. It's got the panel on the front and then all the cracked ice pattern around it in gilding. I've seen a couple of Kangxi vases with this sort of similar design. This is 20th century, hand painted. It's got the phoenix and some blossom on the tree there. So a couple of exotic birds or phoenixes. It is Chinese porcelain, but it's a relatively more modern piece, especially when you compare it to this. As I said, I'm letting go of my study pieces now. This is 18th century Chinese Qinglong period punch bowl. It's a large example. Listen to that dull thud. That tells you all you need to know. It's stapled. Look at that big staple repair there. It is a big repair. But believe it or not, I think I paid £50 for this up in Malvern, probably about 5 or 10 years ago. I found it cheaper to buy damaged product to research. It's okay to read the books, or in my case, listen to the books. But having the pieces you can handle, look at the colours on the enamels, look at the shading, things like that, look at the actual porcelain body. And believe it or not, excuse me, if you buy something damaged, when you take the damaged piece off, you get a perfect view of the actual body of the porcelain and without the glaze on there. So it's fabulous. So yeah, you got a nice piece there, and I've put it back up for what I paid for it, which was 50 quid. But I'm going to be letting go a lot of damaged Chinese porcelain. They were all the pieces I bought for study, and I'm selling them back on for study. I'm not selling them on for anything other than anyone who wants to restore or learn. But a beautiful 18th century, it's a late one, but it's 18th century Chinese porcelain punch bowl. I got more to share with you. But before we do, I put a video out yesterday, which was just showing some of the pieces I'd listed a week or two ago, again, from the house clearance. And somebody posed a question, quite an interesting question. Let me share it with you. So the video, this is the video here. It was just more house clearance treasures, antiques and collectibles, basically. And I was just sharing some more other stuff from the house clearance. And Alfonso, come in with a question. Come in with two, actually. Yeah, a little complaint that the video glitched several times, which I apologize. Unfortunately, despite the fact I've been fighting with BT for 6 months over my Wi-Fi, I'm still up and down with the service. There's nothing I can do. I make the videos the best I can. But then he comes in with a very interesting question: is if I didn't do YouTube, would I still have a successful personal website? It's just curious, because he's guessing the amount of YouTube viewers end up looking through my website items as well. Well, hopefully I'm sharing this, yeah. Now, clearly, Alfonso hasn't watched this video. I done a video in December. What's the best platform for selling, eBay or your own website? And it was an hour and a half live video where I took your comments and addressed them, and we chatted. And I chatted about absolutely everything. What I felt it took to make a successful website. Covered loads of topics on what I think you got to do in order to build up the brand. I also showed you my sales to show you that, I'm not just talking it. I showed you my sales. I showed you my Google Analytics to show you my hit rate on the website, so you could see how many people come into the website. Now, I know so far we haven't got to answering his question. But then I showed you there's two different things. There's a Google organic search, and then there's people that come from links like Facebook and YouTube and things like that. And I was averaging about 3,000, I think it is, organic hits a month, 2,500, 3,000 organic hits a month. And that is massive, because I showed you comparative websites, antique websites, where people were only achieving 50 or 100 organic hits a month. So I was right up there in the antiques category for the hits. And that they had nothing to do whatsoever with YouTube or Facebook. They were people who were searching products, searching things that I wrote categories about. And everything you need to know on how to make a successful website is actually in that video. Really in-depth video. People challenged me. I answered how honestly and how I felt they could do it. And you can make it work. And I don't believe, first of all, that my success is only down to YouTube. Now, it's a platform. Yes, it is part of my brand. I have worked for 4 or 5 years to build up the following I've got. I don't get the following other channels get, because antiques is such a niche market. So I'm still a very small channel. However, I've worked 4 or 5 years. Now, I'm not an intelligent man, as in I didn't come out of school with qualifications. I'm also suffering with some form of dyslexia, where I struggle to read. And yet I've still managed to make a successful business in antiques and collectibles. I got a successful website and a YouTube channel, to the point where I managed to leave eBay. Now, I could refer to 1 or 2 other YouTubers who produce far more content than me, far more hit rate than me. I'm not going to say any names, but there's 1 or 2 channels that I'm friendly with and follow, and they have 5, 10, 15,000 hits per video on just general reselling. Yet their website doesn't get anywhere near what I get on my traffic and target, to the point they still sell on eBay, yet I'm off eBay. So if you're going to go just based on YouTube, they got 10 times more YouTube followers than what I got, and they're not having the response I got. So I don't feel that it's down to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has helped. And if you go and watch that video, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's a really interesting video. Anybody who's selling on eBay and wants to look at the future and plan ahead of, is there a way of taking control of my own business, getting away from eBay? Because let's be honest, eBay at any time can go, flip a switch and you're out of business. It can delete all your listings, and you got to start from scratch, months and months of work. So yeah, I'll put the link to that video in the description. So I would really go and watch that video. It's a really useful tool, covers loads of different things. And as I said, I prove everything I say in that video. I don't just say it and talk. I prove everything I say. So very interesting video. So Alfonso, if you're watching this one and you haven't seen that video, go watch it. Sorry about that. Somebody at the door. Lost my train of thought totally. So anybody who wants to go and have a look, check out the video there. Moving on, I'm going to show you something I had from charity shop this week. I paid a bit of money. It didn't come in for nothing from charity shop. So everybody who thinks things come in for nothing, 50p and things at the charity shop, you're wrong. I paid £15 for these. Edinburgh crystal, boxed set. It would have been a wedding present or something for somebody. Snowball, that's enough, love. We just have a set of 6 beautiful Scottish cut crystal drinking glasses, goblets. I have no idea what glass they are. I don't really bother with, is it a port, is it a sherry? I just sell them as a drinking glass. But a nice set of 6, never been out of the box, drinking glasses for £15. So what have I paid? A little over £2 a stem and the box, and they are mint in the box. So £15, nothing wrong with that. And it's a very, very good name. So yeah, there you go, Edinburgh crystal. So you can still buy some stuff from charity shop. I've done a couple of charity shop videos this week where I've had some amazing stuff. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I bought something for £5 in the charity shop the other day, and it's up for sale for 300. And similar examples are in the Victoria Albert Museum and the British Museum in Cardiff. I'll link that video too if I remember. As I said, I've already started getting stuff from the shop stock, and I thought these were cute enough to go on. They got a bit of weight to them on the varnish and things like that. But you know what? I thought, give them a wipe over. They're cute wood, little bookends to go in a child's bedroom. And they were down the shop. They were part of my shop stock, which I've started working through now. And I'm going to sort it out and, well, get the shop stock listed. I've spoke to a couple of dealers, and basically I'm making boxes or crates of stuff to go to the car boot sale, and I'm going to give a couple of dealers first refusal on the stuff before I take it to car boot sale. They don't have to take it all. They can just cherry pick what they want when I sorted it. Whatever's left goes to the boot sale for £1, £2, £3 and clear it out. But anything quirky and quality I like is going back up online. Back to the house clearance. Now, I had a box, massive box full of old Willow pattern. Old Willow pattern is a Chinese pattern, there you go, done in the 18th century. And it's been the most popular pattern, I think, ever produced. So, Chinese theme. You do find it produced in Chinese porcelain. You find it produced in Worcester porcelain from the 18th century all the way through. This stuff is post-1944. By that, I mean it was introduced in 1944 by Booths. And it's real old Willow by Booths. Now, I've had dinner plates, side plates, tea plates, cups and saucers, breakfast cups and saucers, coffee pots, teapots, you name it. It was a massive collection of it. But what I decided to do was split it. So selling the 8 to 10 dinner plates, 8 to 10 side plates, 8 to 10 tea plates, coffee pots on their own, teapots on their own. So the sums of the part, parts of the whole are worth more than the whole, whatever the saying is anyway. The pieces are worth more than individually than the whole together. So I'll make a lot more money splitting it up, but there is more work involved too. Here's the coffee pot. Shockingly, every bit of it is in good condition. There's no chips or cracks. And again, there's the mark. Now, just to give you an example of how varied this pattern is, from the same house clearance, in the same collection, they bought and displayed this with these. Same pattern, as you can see there, it's the exact same pattern. It is the, there you go, the old Willow pattern, exactly the same. However, this one is made by Double Phoenix Nikko Ironstone, which is made in Japan. So you have Japanese old Willow, English old Willow. You wouldn't really know to look at them, would you? But yeah, they obviously just bought old Willow. End of. They didn't care who made it. They bought old Willow. So yeah, it's interesting to see the different makers who all produce the same product. Let me see. I think that's it of the haul. Was there anything else I wanted to share with you? I'm going to be letting go of some of my reference books that I no longer require. So I'm letting go of all my damaged Chinese porcelain now that I'm no longer studying or using. And I'm going to be letting go of a lot of my reference books. For the simple reason is I'm going to be spending the next 10 years focusing on Oriental ceramics. I already got enough general knowledge to buy the stuff I'm buying. But I think my direction is going to be Chinese porcelain. That's what I'm going to study, learn, and concentrate on. So a lot of my reference books, I got some amazing reference books on glass, Whitefriars, you name it. I think I paid £200-300 a book for my Whitefriars books. I got books on jewelry, you name it. I'm going to be slowly over the next 6 to 12 months letting go probably half my reference books, because I probably got 1,000 reference books. And all the damaged Chinese and things that I used for study. And believe it or not, some of it I've paid a couple of £100 for some of it. So it hasn't all come in cheap. My argument's always been, if you go to school or university, you pay for your education. And it's no different in this game. If you want to learn, it's going to cost you. And I used to go out and I'd buy pieces. And the only way to buy genuine pieces is to either pay the money or buy broken. And I bought broken. But broken still costs money because people can restore it. And it still has a value because, let's see, that Chinese porcelain punch bowl, this day and age, that's probably £1,000 punch bowl in perfect condition. On some sites anyway, £1,000 I would imagine, £500 to £1,000, and it's going for 50 quid because it's damaged. It's like 10% of the value, so it still has a value. I was going to keep it. What I was planning on doing, or when I was considering doing when I had the shop, I was going to keep all the damaged pieces I had like that, all my notes, and I was actually going to start a beginner's class in Chinese porcelain, where I actually allow people to handle the pieces already damaged. So if somebody drops something, I just stick it back together. It wouldn't make any difference. And share the knowledge as I learned it, share the knowledge. But I'm going down a different line to that now. So that idea is out the window. I'm just looking around now if it was anything else. Yes, it was. It was something else. Bear with me a second. This is a gorgeous 1988 Bangor Pottery Dragon. Absolutely gorgeous. Somebody sent me this as a gift, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's going to go with my other gifts I've had, and I am so grateful. Thank you very, very much. And I can't thank you because you didn't put a sender's address, you didn't put a card or letter in the box or nothing. You just sent me the dragon. Very well, very, very well wrapped, I must add, because it took me like half hour to get into it. But I am very, very grateful. So thank you very much, whoever sent me that. And if you want to just drop me a line and say who you are, I will thank you online. But lovely. And that will go in my office when it's finally sorted out with my other gifts. So thank you very much for that. I very much appreciate it. I think that's about it. So up to resolving tomorrow. So hopefully pick some bargains up there for filming next. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.